we go. Hey, what's up? Welcome to Creative Emotions, where you're going to get this encouragement, motivation, this transparency. You're going to get information, and you're going to get these good vibes. You know, Chef is in the building.
Oh, yes. And we're going to cook it up tonight, as usual.
Chef like cooking it up.
I love cooking it up.
Clearly. Listen, this is a live show. You guys can call in at 313-266-2811. Again, this is the live show. You guys can call in. You enjoying the heat?
I'm enjoying the heat.
We're a little late.
I was going, is the heat enjoying me?
Okay. You get it. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, the heat said to me, like, man, you too hot today, boy. The heat needed some AC when I came outside.
Wow. Okay. I hear you.
You know, I got to go there.
Hey, I've been enjoying the heat, though. I really don't like the cold.
Absolutely. Because we know it's right around the corner.
You're right around the corner. My birthday is next month.
I know.
Hey.
It's Leo the Lion.
August the 14th.
Yeah.
You know, just throw that out there.
Yes. I already knew. I peeped on your page. I said,
Oh, you seen it?
Yeah. I said, something told me to look at it.
So I want to encourage people to try new and productive things or ways to connect with their children. You did something with your children this week that...
I sure did.
That's kind of not the norm, I guess, or they never been?
Yeah. So this weekend, I told, well, I'm going to tell you what I did this weekend, but I'm going to tell you this first.
Hold on, we got a call already? Oh,
got a call?
Scam likely.
Okay. I was talking with some guys some years ago, and, you know, they were a little nervous about being a father. Mm. I said, you know, you got the biggest cheat sheet in the world. They said, what are you talking about? I said, if there's anything you ever thought or imagined your dad should have did with you, do with your children.
Mm. Yeah, that's good.
And that's it. So this weekend, I took my children to the drive-in movie.
Nice.
And they thought it was just amazing. So we cooked up all this food, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And and then, you know, for you guys who know about Fort Wyoming, they still got the slides and the swings up there.
Yeah,
so
that's
I'm
what I
all
used
on the
to.
swing and I jump off. You know, I'm pretty high and I jump off. And so, you know, my son want to do it too, right?
Yeah.
So, but we had a ball. We had a tailgate party. We had chicken all over the place, sausages. I made a chicken dip. So just for my children, for their first time to experience that, just to look on their face, it just made me smile.
That's what's up.
So, yeah, we had a ball.
That's what's up.
And then we went to the fair, and they had me on rides I usually wouldn't get on. So
Nice.
Yes. How about your weekend?
My weekend was great. But talking about the series. So today's show is it's out of your control.
Yes.
And so we need to think, and that's something that was in your control, to have that mindset to say, you know what, I'm just going to do everything that my father didn't do for me. And so that's a choice.
Yes.
And you took control with that. So I commend you. And all fathers who choose to make that difference instead of, you know, recreating the same hurt that you know that you felt.
Yes. And I had said before I posted a picture of me and my son on there, I said, spend the time now so you don't have to make it up later.
Wow. Yeah.
Parents.
Definitely.
Put that to parents.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So
definitely. Yeah. So the last series, the title we were talking about was self-righteousness and how it stopped us from creating and cultivating meaningful relationships, whether it was intimate or not. And so we talked about, you know, job relationships. If you self-righteous, you like, I have this degree and I have this and I have that, and no humbleness in it, you know, it builds up a self-righteousness to,
Absolutely.
you know, have people looking at you like, dang, you're unrelatable. You act like you got it all together when you really don't. You know, so we talked about those things. And this week, you know, we're diving into things being out of your control. Naturally, it's natural for us to want to control everything around us. It leaves us in a disappointed place, though, when we try to control everything and things just don't work that way. So letting go of control takes a lot less energy and effort than trying to control everything. I know sometimes people can't enjoy their present moment, you know, because this part of it didn't go right. And then that part. And then, you know, so you're not being present. You're not being in the moment. It's like one thing go wrong, and because you couldn't control it, everything goes to crap.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, this is an encouragement to let you know, like, I find it personally freeing to know that I don't have control over everything. And I'm okay with that.
And I'm okay with that too.
I'm okay with that. Like, some things just happen. You know, I have a story about last week. I was on my motorcycle and I had my purse around me. It's like a little satchel purse. And so I'm riding and my phone is connected to my helmet. And normally when it answers, that means somebody's calling me. So I came up off the freeway and it went off. And so I'm like, hello? And I didn't even think, like, maybe your phone is not connected. So I went to my next destination, turned my bag around, about to pay for gas, and no, my phone fell out. And so I'm like, wow, my phone fell on the freeway. Like, yeah, so, okay.
So let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. How fast were you going?
I was coming up off Gratiot, so it wasn't fast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when you got to stop. It wasn't even that fast going, but my bag was open.
Because you know you got a fast bike.
I do. And the only time I go fast is to move out the way, so don't judge me. I just move out the way. So I kept going where I was going because I'm like, hey, the phone on the freeway, it is what it is.
Right.
And so I said, God, please just let me find my ID, because I put my ID behind my phone.
Oh.
So I'm like, please just let me find my work ID. I got to work tomorrow. I don't want to be standing out there waiting on security. Like, please. So I did the walk up the freeway looking for my phone. And the first thing I find was my badge connected to a part of my phone.
Oh, no.
And I was like, thank you. I'm on the freeway like, thank you. Yeah. Oh, my God. I kept walking, and there was my phone mangled. It was tore up. But I bring that story up to say, like, a lot of times people will get angry and they be like, I'm not having a good day. And then you start speaking all these negative things about yourself and about your day just based off of one incident that you couldn't control.
Could not control.
I couldn't control that. If the zipper came open, I know it was closed, but I ultimately, that's a situation where, I couldn't control it. So I'm just thinking, when life feels chaotic and overwhelming, it's easy to get in this cycle, but there are ways we can train ourselves, just like anything else, to stop going, like pulling, just allowing that need for control to just change the dynamic of everything. Absolutely. It changes your attitude. It changes your mood. You're rude to people. It's like it affects a lot of things.
Yes.
And so we do need to be, mindful of that. And so just a few things to elaborate on is being aware of your feelings and emotions. It's perfectly normal to have a range of different emotions. It helps some people to write them down. I know a lot of people don't think, journals are not just for women. Men, you can write your feelings down as well. It's like almost like purging, like getting it out.
See, guys will probably say, write your thoughts down.
Yeah.
What did you say?
That's the same thing. Write your thoughts. Write down.
I was just putting a little masculine energy
for the
fellas.
Well, go ahead then. Flex. But sometimes if you feel like you don't have a person to talk to, you can write your things down. A lot of men feel like they got to hold everything in. And, I'm just encouraging you. You don't. You can actually write down those things. Notice your mindset. Take inventory. Do you look at things negatively all the time, then label it as just being real? How people be like, I'm just speaking, it's just reality. No, it's actually your reality and you shape it.
Absolutely.
And that's a real thing. We definitely have to be mindful of that. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm just being real. Or they think, speaking negatively, even about their life, that it's being real. It's really... that's the true manifestation. Once you say something and you believe it, hey, that's agreement. So just use that space wisely. You're using your mindset wisely. If you are telling yourself it's too hard or too stressful, naturally that will be your reality. So focus on the things you can control. Don't let other people's behavior dictate how you respond. And you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, I was about to mention that you cannot control life, but what you do have control on how you respond to life situations and events. That you do have control of. God gives you free will.
Yes.
So then that's to exercise your wisdom, the things you've learned thus far that brought you to whatever moment that you feel is out of control. It's not really out of control because the event usually is already occurring, happening, and simply just the way you choose to respond to it. It can be verbally, through an action. So you do have control that way, family. And I've learned that. So just how you react to things.
How, if you want to share?
Yeah, you'll have things going. You may have someone standing in front of you that's being very, very disrespectful. Now, you have at that time, now I know, just take a couple seconds on how you're going to plan on reacting to that.
Yeah, for sure.
We're confronted with that at home. We're confronted with that at workplaces. And so when I look at that, man, I was talking to you earlier, that was just my experience with it.
Yeah.
And I just learned, like in life, I'd rather sometimes be the passenger, and I'm just riding with God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that happens with me quite often. Me and my daughter, it'd be funny. We'd be going somewhere. I'd be like, "You driving?" She said, "No, you driving." Because you know what I'm saying? Because at that point,
right.
I don't want to be in control as far as making decisions on the road. I just want to relax.
Yeah. So
we can look at that perspective in life. It's okay. Right, but everything in society tells you to be in so much control, and I'm just wanting to tell people it's okay if you're not.
Yeah,
just react the proper way, right? We have so many other things that's going on in life that we have to make the proper decision for ourselves and our family, and those are things you're in control of. But the events in life, you can't control them. You're going to learn from them and react to them.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And that's it.
I have a public service announcement just to remind you that you are more powerful than you give yourself credit.
Absolutely.
And so today I want you to give yourself credit. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yes, please.
You made it this far.
I wanted to add a couple other few things. I know you did too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sometimes, and then I had a couple things written down, but anyway, you have to look at what's your surroundings. Right, what's influencing you.
For sure.
And then you have to, I've learned now, even in today, just sit back for a second and see what's influencing my thoughts of wanting to be in control, right? So I looked at social media and everybody just seemed, and if they're not saying on an infomercial, you got this, just everything that's telling you to be in control.
Right.
So, I feel everybody. Right? And I think we all do it to a certain extent. So just pay attention to what's influencing you. And then another thing, and when you're in a moment and you're feeling like you're not in control, just slow everything down. You have to find ways to manage that stress in that moment.
Definitely.
Right? In that moment, you just have to learn how to do that. And then you have to also learn and realize your weaknesses. When do you feel the most like you're out of control?
Yeah.
Or you're not in control, I'm sorry. Is it because of money situations, situations with your children, situations with your husband or your wife, co-workers? And then just take that time, slow down, reevaluate that situation, that person, and then or that situation, you may feel like, you know what, it wasn't that important for me to prove a point or to be in charge and control in that moment.
Oh, look, do we have a caller? Oh, that's Cam.
I got excited too. I was like,
and this is a live show, guys. 313-266-2811. You can call in. TL Audio says, when you think first, you are able to respond. When you don't think you react, and that can make matters worse.
Absolutely.
Definitely, sir.
Absolutely.
So spend time doing meaningful things, things that bring you joy, that adds to you. I'm real big on things adding and not subtracting so much.
I am.
It's like, okay, what are we doing, and what is it doing, and why are we?
Absolutely.
All that. Ask all those questions. But look for sources of stress and things to eliminate in your immediate life. So that's just taking note. I remember you told me to just write down everything. Write down everything.
Where you at in life right now.
Where you at in life right now. Because if you look at where you are, then you can be realistic. I think sometimes we're not realistic about what we can do. Our expectations may be a little bit above what's,
Absolutely.
what's doable. And it's like you got to be real with yourself. So writing everything down, that'll take back, that need to feel like you got to control all of this stuff that's really imaginary because that's not even a thing.
It's not a thing. And then you may find out, Q, that you're looking at a page full of blessings, right?
Yeah.
And that's the upside to it, right? So yeah, I'm big on that. And I've been doing that daily now, just right now where I'm at.
Yes. I've been doing a lot of
where
writing.
I'm at, yep. My age, where I'm at, relationship-wise, with my children, my finances, just write it all down. And that takes the pressure off of wanting to be like, I'm actually good.
Yeah, I'm actually good.
I'm actually good.
Like, I'm tripping.
Right.
Hey, you got to watch it.
Right.
Watch what you're trying to control. And so limiting the use of devices and social media, that's an example of,
Yes.
Just looking at things that may stress your life. Inadvertently, you can be comparing your life to things that you see on social media, and that can ultimately be your drive, which is unhealthy. You have to go from within to see what your life purpose is and what you're supposed to be doing. It'll make sense.
Yeah, because remember I was just saying, take note of what's influencing you.
Yeah.
And like you said, that social media is big.
It is. Whether we want to admit it or not, it is what it is. You look at, I want my rims to look like that.
Yeah,
dang,
yeah.
I want them. I want that. And then you go do things to, accumulate these things, but it just may not be time. I'm so conscious of things happening in divine time, not rushing. I think I was rushing at one point, rushing to feel like, okay, I need to be married. I know what type of woman I am. And then where's this man? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to control every little single thing. I think even my life, the way I set it up, I looked at what I didn't want and I went toward what looked like something that it could have been, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
So when I'm younger, I'm saying, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. And so I controlled the scenario by picking something, even though it didn't line up with what would have been good for me. But I'm like, okay, I started with this. I don't want that. I don't want that. And so I created my life based on what I did not want.
Yeah, and that's when it get out of control.
Absolutely.
I've been there. I want to be a husband, but nobody ever said they want to be a wife, right? So that's a big thing, right? So then you're doing everything to try to live out your vision, and in essence, it's controlling that part, right?
Yeah.
So
instead of allowing things to be free flowing in that way.
Absolutely.
Sometimes things should be just free flowing.
Free flowing.
Just
be
flowing.
like, dang, how'd that happen?
Hey, Maya, I see you. Thank you for joining this evening. Thank you for everyone who's watching on YouTube. I appreciate your support.
Oh, yes,
Thank
my
you
cousin
so
watched.
much.
Hey, Shelly.
Hey, cuz.
Hey, cuz.
So find things that relax you until you come to a place on your journey where you understand that everything you need is inside of you. Grab whatever you need. And so this is something that I learned, right? You have people that are into crystals, people are into oil, they are into water, rocks, whatever they grab, and it brings them some type of security, even though the source of that is coming from inside. Let people do them.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Hold on one second. My cousin said she couldn't hear very well. Let me know if it gets better.
You might have to pull it up to you.
May have to pull it up a little bit.
Yeah. But so even with all religions, everybody has something that they may go to for that comfort. So everybody say now the cross. At first the cross was, signifying Christianity and God on the cross and all, and then people say, don't wear a cross. It shows this, it shows that. And it's just like, let people do what they feel like they need to do, and then whatever it means for them, that's a personal thing.
Absolutely.
Why are we fighting things like this? It doesn't even make sense. Somebody have a crystal around their neck. I'm not about to be like, well, what you got that on for? If that's what they need at this point in their journey, and that's what they're using, let them be.
Absolutely.
And those are some of the things that are out of our control. How people, find the God in them or find the God in everything around them. It's a different journey for everybody.
I agree with you. If I can add one thing, just to that control, and I was just thinking about this. If I'm big on purpose, right? So if you're spending more time, either finding your purpose or walking in your purpose, that's one thing you can navigate, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll find less interest in trying to control things around you because your purpose will wrap you up.
Oh, definitely.
That will wrap you up. So I just believe if we spend more time there, we'll spend less time in the world trying to control the things around us that we were just, once again, meant to respond and learn from.
Definitely.
And that I'm going to say that a few more times. And I've learned that heavily over the last year. That part right there.
That's good.
Big time.
That's good.
So go back. What were you saying?
But you can't live nobody's life.
You sure can't.
You can't live nobody's life. And when people understand this, oh my God, your wings will come out and you will be soaring. When you understand you cannot live your life for people, and we may see things that may work for people. You see a bum on the street, like, I just want you to live this way. And if it's not in them, they just not gonna do it. And it doesn't mean that your intentions weren't good or pure. So when we know that, it is just a freeing way to live. God made originals. He don't want replicas. He wants us all to be original.
Absolutely.
And understanding that you can only change.
You can only change
what you have control over.
Yes. I think that we would see a decrease in depression, anxiety, if we just all get this right here today and share with the others. I just believe that leads into depression and anxiety when you feel like you cannot control your environment, right?
Definitely.
And it leads to that.
It definitely does. Maya say, what is the topic? The topic is out of your control. We worry a lot about things that we have no control over. And so that's what the topic is tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much. Every week at 6 o'clock, you can meet us here.
Yes. What's up, my brother? What's up, Russell?
So I found that, no. So I found that it's much better to attend to my mindset and energy so that I can be prepared for any outcome than it is to actually prepare for every possible outcome.
Say that again, because I think I like that. But I just need you to say it again.
So I found that it's much better to attend to my mindset and energy so that I can be prepared for any outcome than it is to actually prepare for every possible outcome.
Yes, I like that, Q.
Anything can happen. And if you are in your right state of mind, it is what it is.
Yes.
But if you try to control every little single thing in your life, you will drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, you will.
Crazy. By letting go of trying to control every detail, you open yourself up to all the opportunities and ideas available to you. So don't worry. I want you to repeat after me.
Okay, they say they still can't.
I am open for all the good that is available to me.
I am open for all the good that's available to me.
And keep saying that to yourself every day. I am open to all the good that's available for me, to me, that's got my name on it. Do you? They probably
say
can't.
They can hear off mines, maybe.
Yeah, it's yours. You'll probably have to share from your page.
Let's see here.
Yeah, he doing a regular live, so that's why.
That's the reason why. Is there any way we can tell them to?
But save your energy. You cannot control people. Here are just a few to put into perspective. I have a few things. So if you hear anything and you find yourself in them, you're losing your mind, this is just a reminder. It's out of your control. So how other people treat you, this is something that you cannot control. And for years, I had to learn not to take things personal. Because you think about, you think of the person that you are and things that you would do, and you would be like, like asking questions like, why would somebody treat me like that? Or why, but you can't control how people treat you because ultimately it's a reflection of how they see themselves. And listen, this is the absolute truth. This is my truth. Even coming from me, the way I treated people is the way I see myself. The way I treat people now is the way that I see myself. Mm-hmm. And I love my neighbor like I love myself. And so I have a place of it's an eternal flow of love. People say, why do you care so much about people? Because it comes from a different place. Because if it came from me, I'd probably get tired. I'd probably take it personal. And I'd probably be on that, trying to control everything and feeling some type of way when people don't ship up and shape up to make me feel better. It doesn't work that way. But things you can't control. If people like or dislike you, you can't control that. Other people's action. This is something you can't control. Other people's thoughts. As much as you want to get your point across, if a person don't comprehend, you're wasting your time and your energy. And so I've learned to just accept a person's difference. Like, oh, okay, you believe that way, it's cool. That's what's up. And I keep it moving. I can't be so like a control freak that I got to be in your head. Like, no, you got to hear me. This is what I'm saying. I think I used to be like that.
And I think when I hear that, maybe just because of you wanting to manifest your vision, right? And sometimes I think we go a little overboard with it.
No, I want people to see my way.
We'd be very passionate about it. Oh, you just wanted people okay.
See my way.
All right, well, yeah, you had something
This the way. This the way.
Yeah, you had something going on.
But who we're related to? I know a lot of times, dealing with family, you could be like, you know what? You can't choose them. It's out of your control. So other people's feelings. I think I did a video about that before. Like if someone told you that you offended them, it's not up for you to say, well, that ain't what I. It's okay to acknowledge someone's feelings.
Absolutely.
Without, pushing it off. So that's one thing you can't control, other people's feelings or how they feel about how you're coming at them. You can't control that. The weather, natural disasters, and death. These are things that you cannot control. The past, the future, the passing of time. These are things we cannot control. And these are real, practical, but sometimes we have to be reminded, And
then once again, those things that we experience and the things we respond to. So I like the things that you just listed because they will bring a lot of heartache. And that's, just know people that's something that was destined and you cannot control death. But just the way you respond to it, you can. And then it's an experience. So if we just break this thing down, we'll see that we will find a need to shorten the list of things that we feel that we have to be in charge of.
Yeah.
Right? And it will free up a lot of mental space. Believe me.
That's good. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What happened?
No, I'm going to try to get them back on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so things we can control. Let's talk about that.
Oh.
How we treat people.
How we treat people, how we talk to people.
Listen, you can control that.
Yes, the energy you share, that's something you can control. Your testimony, wisdom, which will in turn, help people. But I'm going to think about that. That's pretty deep. He said the things we can control.
Yeah, things we can't control. Whether you hold on to grudges or let them go.
Yeah, I had a friend that said they hold on to them, and
you can control that.
You can control that. Yep. It starts off with forgiveness.
Yeah, that's number one.
Yeah, it's hard to hold a grudge when you know.
Forgiveness,
yes,
even when you don't receive an apology.
Even.
Because they may never say sorry. They may never say, "Oh my God, I didn't mean it."
What if you never hear it?
You got to be okay with that.
Yes.
So these are things that you can control. Holding grudges, it does not help. It is drinking poison, expecting someone else to die. Doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
So please be mindful of the things that you can control. If you are just joining, which I see a few people just popped on, we are talking about out of your control. Let's talk about those things that are out of your control so that we can free up some space for peace, mental breaks, multiple mental breaks, and just making sure you are in control over the things that you can be in control over, which is you dominantly.
Okay, give me 1 second, Q. I want to get these people on here.
Your reactions to what people say and do. These are things that you can control. Your reactions, taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional needs. A lot of times, we have this stigma about therapy. A lot of people don't want to do therapy. A lot of people feel like I don't need to tell nobody my business, or they strangers, or they don't know me. Sometimes talking to a third party, somebody that's non-biased, you probably can receive better from somebody that don't really know you. Because a lot of times people try to appease just to keep peace and say, hey, oh no, ain't that bad. I got some people straight up. Maya's one of them. She be straight up. Sometimes hurt your feelings like, dang.
So you saying?
Like straight up. Wow. So just having people in your life, and like I said, your physical, your mental, your emotional needs is something you can't control. So we have to be mindful of that.
And I like that. I think you just said maybe it's people who don't know you.
People that don't know you, I feel like can help better than the person that do, because it will be a non-biased conversation and opinion, if that's what the person is seeking.
I agree. I was just, as soon as you said that, what came to me, it's like when you look at a person and you know them and you know their history, sometimes it's hard, even with being open with them, you start thinking about things from the past, things you've been through, things that are said. So I agree with you. Sometimes when it's someone who doesn't really know you, they happen to be a little bit more open with you and listen to you, because they don't have the past experiences looking through your eyes at them. You understand?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And even how a person will feel after you keep it real with them.
Yes.
You ever kept it real with them and they acting funny towards you now? They don't even talk to you no more. You like, dang, you asked me.
And I've had someone that say, you can be real with me. I said, really? Okay. And then it was a problem. I'm like, you just told me I can be real. So
that may not work for everybody. Hey, it is what it is.
So,
but living by your values, this is things that we can control.
Yes.
Living by your values. Learning to love yourself. That is a journey. When I say love yourself, people are like, I love myself. It's not that. It is everything that you're doing that's contrary to loving yourself. So it's a self discovery to say, hey, well, I need to work on this area. And that's all for you. Has nothing to do with anybody else. So self-love, I feel like it's definitely levels to it. But these are things that you can control.
These are things you can't control. And I like the loving yourself. I had recently say, date yourself, And then when you look in the mirror, you have to get to a point where you really loving on yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the whole thing, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just not talking about the good part. But I think that is one step to it right there.
Definitely. Being present. I notice a lot of times, like, being around older people, they like to stay in the past. Like, oh, I remember back in my day and I remember back then. But not as a learning situation, but almost like that's where they live in. Because they're not presently living, if that makes sense. They're not moving forward. They're not doing anything different. They ain't shaking and moving. Some aunties and uncles that just do the same thing, go to same places, drink the same stuff, don't do anything different. This is what I'm talking about. Being present. Those people are still living in the past, or you can be too far in the future. So being present is something that you can control.
And we talked about that. I remember you shared that with me last year. You said, Fred, living in the past or too far in the future is insanity.
It is. It's like, why are we doing
living here
that?
and now. Yeah, why are we doing this, right? You can't control what's already happened, right? And you clearly can't control what's going to happen. So you do have the here and now. So in this whole thing where we talk about it, controlling, you just have to experience life, learn from it, and respond to it. Once again, I'm going to continue to say that.
Definitely. Definitely. Being adaptable to change. These are things that we can control. Being adaptable.
So what's that look like?
Being adaptable. Even at work. You can't control what these companies do.
Absolutely.
But every time they come with something new, you got your mind is on 10. You complaining. Yep. I'm having a bad day. Now you distraught. Now you want to leave your job. You know how many times I've heard people in the last 4 months, like I can't stay in this job. I'm ready to go. And now they're fired for one reason or another. You have to be careful with the words that you're speaking on your life. So being adaptable to change, if things are happening that are out of your control, like working for a company that don't know if they're going left or right, then you have to adapt to that change or go.
Or go.
Period.
Today's topic is so strong, and it hits deep. Just about this control thing, I think people just take it real too light. People walk away from their blessings, out of their blessings. You be blessed with a job, whatever your blessing may have been in your life. And because of the lack of you being able to navigate something,
Wow.
people leave. I see it at work all the time. I don't need this. Oh, really? Okay, look like you need it when you punched in. So, but we're so quick to when we cannot navigate, and I'll choose that word right along with the control part.
Right.
When we can't navigate things, we just it's like that child in Myers just hit the floor and kicking it and crying. Right. Yeah. So, this is a very good topic, and this is a really good topic. And I think as you pull up in your driveway tonight and you go into your homes, you're going to see examples of this. So the things that we said, just taking into your home tonight, to your dinner table, when you're sitting down relating with your children or your husband or your wife, okay? How important is it for you to control that moment? How important is it?
Wow.
Yes.
That's huge. So your mindset too. These are things that you can control. You can control your mindset. You can literally break down every thought that you learned that is not serving your higher self and get rid of it. Change your mind. It's really that simple. Just change it.
Unlearn
like,
it.
you know what? This is not working for me.
Yes.
And change it. And that's how much power you have. Things you can change, things you can control. Expressing gratitude. If you just be thankful more often, you'll see the beauty in a lot more things. Just thank you. Thank you. Just find things to say. Just thank you. Just have a thank you party all day. Just thank you.
Just a thank you.
Because I feel like praises go up, blessings come down. And thank you is a praise.
Yes, I had a situation yesterday. My sister had texted me like, Fred, they're giving away free gas on 8 Mile Coolidge. I was like, really? So that was an example of me being in control of that moment. I said, I'm getting up right now. I didn't put my shoes back on, threw a little something on, and I went up there, and I ended up being the last car. Right?
Oh, wow.
So these are moments where you, like you said, your thoughts, willing yourself. You can't control some things. And instead of being, I had been in a hot building all day, and I just thought I deserved to come home and strip down and be cool, right? But in that moment, that's an example of something positive that you can control and be blessed on. Yeah. Right? Just that part right there.
Yeah.
Right. So
you jumped on that opportunity.
You got that $40.
Hey.
The pump cut off right after that. I was like, cool.
And that was it.
That was it.
You know some people that went?
No, I said forget it. I ain't want to.
The line?
Yeah, the line and the hassle. You put your home $40 in there if that's the case.
Well, yeah, if you sitting there running the car.
I think
that was it was $20,000 they gave of gas.
$20,000.
Get him some. Whoever, I don't know who that was, but get him some.
Somebody told me it was a gentleman who, and I don't know how true it was, he was going to take this money and celebrate his birthday, but he decided to bless people instead.
Oh, my God. What's about to come to that man is going to be... Eyes haven't seen it. Ears haven't heard.
What I heard. I don't know how true it is.
Listen, that's selfless. I actually did that, instead of taking my trip by myself, I canceled it, and I said I was going to take my children with me. So every year I go.
Oh, wow.
I go out the country. I go somewhere I've never been. And so this year I was like, maybe I can just, be with my children. They are very delicate ages. 18, she'll be 19, and 17, about to be a senior, and then 14, my son going to high school. And so I'm like, maybe we all need to, you know what I'm saying? These are all some delicate ages. So maybe we all can benefit from a little time on the beach and just chill. So selfless acts.
I like that. Yeah, because you reminded me of that at the beginning of the show. And just your thought on that, I agree with. So I just took a little sacrifice and I took a little compromise, even on this weekend, so my children, like you said, delicate, right?
Yeah.
My daughter 21,
Yeah.
my son 10, just for that moment. So you're so right about that, and that's something that we can control.
Yeah. Definitely can control it.
All
I
right,
did.
Q, I had to give you some.
I did. I did. So I'm going to leave you with a few of these. And I actually wrote a poem that I think will go good with this segment as we wrap it up.
Okay.
So the last couple of things I want to say is acceptance of the things we can't control has benefits. And so I'm going to give you a few of these benefits. A more positive attitude.
Yes.
I know people take lightly, positive. Some people are like, I'm positive Polly. I am. It is what it is. I'm okay. I wouldn't change it.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
You call me what you want to call me. That's one of them. That's fine. But less energy drained from trying to figure things out. We're always trying to control and figure out everything. Some things are just going to work out for your good. I just want you to be okay with that. Be okay with knowing, yes, we do have to do our due diligence. We do have to take care of our business. But some things, if we do our inventory, we literally can pull back from and relinquish the unnecessary need to control.
Yes.
That's a real thing. The ability to embrace change. I am talking about the benefits of accepting that you can't control everything. The ability to embrace change, greater appreciation and gratitude. Remember I told you the praises go up and blessings gonna come down.
Yes.
So that appreciation and that gratitude is definitely needed. It'll definitely change your outlook on this thing. A more compassionate perspective. And so that goes back to looking at people and understanding that everybody is different. And it's a beautiful thing for us to have our differences. That's what make the world go round.
Yes.
If it was everybody like you, everybody like me, what we have to evolve.
Yes,
and the only way
absolutely.
we can evolve is by each other, by people going before us, people that were there's people that's going to be beyond us. It's a constant flow of that. So just having compassion and appreciating people's individuality. And the last thing I want to say is having a gentle approach.
Yes.
Having a gentle approach will change a lot.
Yes.
A soft answer turns away wrath. And that is a real thing. If you know
That is
somebody
real.
on 10, just know you don't have nothing to prove. You can simmer down and approach the situation a little bit different. That's something that you can control.
Yes. I've learned that myself,
Yeah.
personally.
And so this poem I'm going to end with is the beat of the drum. And so a lot of times we are influenced and influence our unconscious mind a lot of times. And you don't know unless you see it in your life, unless you're paying attention to your everyday and just being intentional, with your very existence. Yes, it's really that deep, but not. Because we should have a level of just trusting that God is going to work everything out for us. But do you hear the beat of the drum? And so that's what this poem is called. Do you hear the beat of the drum? Everything around you fighting to be the one dominant thought that influence your next move. Whether it's a dream house, vacation spot, or food, relationship goals, or get rich quick. It can be take this pill if you're feeling too thick, or take this one time and stop reproduction. Did you know marching orders have a function? Function to disrupt your life purpose and original intent. We are all here on this learning field. It's not to be told how to think. In fact, we were created to create. Recognize familiar, stepping into kingdom fate. Never a need to hate. Individuality equals a full plate. Come from outside with things that can't be controlled. Locate those marching orders. It should be freedom of negative influence and unfruitful strongholds. Just remember, you have the power and control. Listen,
That was amazing.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was just I don't know why it just came to me, beat of the drum, marching. And so I'm thinking like the way everybody move. It's like, oh, this is the next new thing. Oh, You know,
Yep, that's what we do.
Oh, it's the next. I want this. Oh, I want
Yes,
that.
yes,
and,
yes.
Oh, I want that. And we just marching. So just be mindful of things that are influencing you and it's affecting your subconscious mind. Be careful about the things that you can't control that is driving you, is making you angry, you know, is making you unpleasant because you're trying to control. You can't control another human being. You can't control the way somebody feel. You can't control another person's thoughts. Just go in to what you can control, and that's you.
Absolutely.
I thank you so much for joining us. Meet us here next week, same time, 6 o'clock. Don't be late.
Right.
I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.